Well, good day all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your Thursday evening metal market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Thursday, the first day of September, 2022, and it's about 5:45 p.m. So everything today, to me, didn't mean very much. The market was people getting ready for the 7:30 in the morning jobs data report. That's going to be your market mover. We've had one inkling that it could be a hot number because the JOLTS, which are the help wanted ads, went up to 11.2 million. That's almost 2 jobs being offered for each person theoretically that could work in America still. That's an awful lot, right? Then the next thing we have to look at is, we had a 528,000 job number. And that was the last jobs report. Does that get revised down? Does it get revised up? Does it sit? 298,000 is the number people are looking for now for tomorrow with a 3.5% unemployment rate. Everything else doesn't matter. Are we hot, cold, or right where it's at? That's what's going to matter. Let's just go to the gold market. As you can see in the gold coming down. Now, a factor today that hit gold negative was China shut down another city of 21 million people. The whole city shut down tonight. 31 provinces there have reported COVID. That's the whole mainland, by the way. This particular area had 900 cases reported this week. It was too much for the government. So I guess we're looking at a market, and that's going to affect the copper market, the silver. We're looking at a government that is determined to beat this instead of with vaccines by shutting in their people and hoping that they'll get vaccine. And what we never hear is, does their vaccine work? I don't read anything about it in the newspaper. So they are determined that this is the way to do it. Well, nobody can do business that way. If you're a businessman, what are you going to do? You're going to shut down at the beginning of each spring, the beginning of each fall, when the COVID cases are going to go up. Now people are moving indoor, and you can't count on your suppliers or anything. It's a serious issue. Show you how serious. The housing there has fallen. Do you know what the year-over-year sales are now? 31% decline. So when you look at metals, you look at the silver, the gold market, why do you want to own them? The government in America is fighting inflation with a headwind. Inflation is rampant. They're committed to fight it. Gold didn't rally on the inflation. It had one rally in the past 6 months, a big one. Ukraine invasion, and that proved to not be lasting, and the market is right back down. So from my idea, this was your rally back then, and here you are. The market's got nothing but big headwinds all the way through. On the chart, the trend is clearly to the downside. You've got the pattern of lower highs, lower lows. Market keeps working lower. The bias is down since the market is underneath the 18-day average of closes. Here's my theory on bias. Bias is a filter. First thing I look at on a chart, the very first thing is, what's the swing line doing? You can get that in our charting software. If it's trending, is the bias with it? In this case, the trend is down. You have a pattern of lower highs, lower lows, and you've had this for a long time. The market's under the 18-day average, so it tells me put on my sell shoes. The second thing I look at, where am I in relation to my objectives? One of the objectives is a Bollinger Band. The other are window envelopes. I don't show window envelopes here. I show those every morning in my Spider ETF and my futures market videos. You get everything in those. This is meant to be lightweight. The next thing I look at, do we have an embedded reading? Are we oversold, overbought? Momentum pointing up, momentum pointing down. This is momentum. Under over the 18-day average bias, support zones. Why do I want to sell into a support zone? Yet the market is now embedded. What does embedded mean? Let's take a look together. Embedded means that, and I'm going to take off Friday's action. Embedded means that the two numbers that make up slow stochastics, called a K and a D line, the red is K, the D is the blue line. One uses 3 periods because it's a daily chart, 3 days worth of data, the other 5. That is the difference between the two. Okay, next I look to see, do I have at least several days in a row where the numbers are, the word is several, not a couple, several days in a row where the market is under 20. I do. So today's beyond that. So there's a way then on hard rallies that I'm looking to go short until the red line closes over 21. Therefore, I'm in the bear camp, hoping to get a hard rally to look at and decide, is it a short sale? The gold-silver ratio continues to move to the upside, and I'm giving you the reasons why. While gold has at least the idea of people thinking it's a storage of value, what is silver? It's really an industrial metal. You cannot tell me. My wife works at Tiffany. I crack up when she says, well, silver, it's a precious metal. It is not a precious metal. A precious metal could be palladium at near $2,000 an ounce, right? Gold. But this is just another metal. It's certainly not as bad as copper. And by the way, I was looking today, the funniest thing, I got something in an auction, looking at, of all things, jewelry. And here's this fabulous piece with palladium and copper. I started laughing. Higher highs, lower lows. You know, you start, if you're in this, unfortunately, if you understand things the way I do, I understand the artistic value and the name value of pieces. But if you're going to tell me about the metal value, you got the wrong guy to talk about. In copper, you got your outside breakout of the downside. 2 days in a row where the market's got the quadrants in the bottom. No, I wanted to tell you that. You didn't close in the bottom quadrant here. You did in the bottom quadrant today. You'd have to do it again tomorrow to say, this is a real breakout. Beyond that, this could be where the market snaps back. Be very careful of the snapback in this market. You're not embedded. You're at the Bollinger Band. You've pulled on it. It doesn't need a reason to snap. In the platinum market, you have the embedded reading. Each day, the market is unfortunately making lower and low without giving you a hard bounce to get short. I can't help that. And in the palladium market, as I pointed out yesterday, and I'm saying it again, you're in borrowed time because you're oversold. It might want to reach for the lower Bollinger Band. But at least here, you got $2,000 an ounce. I can argue that that's a precious metal. I can argue that gold's a precious metal. I can't buy into that silver is a precious metal. It isn't. It's a $17 an ounce metal. It's that simple. So you put it all together, you look at the dollar and say, okay, what's this doing? The dollar should see some resistance in this 110.44 area, but I'm going to repeat what I started off with. Everything counts on the jobs report tomorrow, and after that, traders are going to do what I do. I'll have a little bit of work I have to do, and then I'm doing this to all of you. Bye-bye. I'm enjoying my weekend. I'll write a report for my monthly newsletter. Yeah, I do have a monthly newsletter, by the way. I'll get that written, and after that, adios. I did start working, for those of you that ask, on my course again, my outside day course. I worked on it a lot today, catching up. I haven't looked at it since May, and that was because of COVID and the mouth operation. I'm now back and opened it up, starting to look where I'm at, and now I'm going to work on it every day, and I will get it finished now. So you see me talking so much about upper bands, lower bands here. Learn. This is the opportunity. I make you a promise. If you take my course on Bollinger Bands, you are going to put them on charts and look at them in a completely different way than you ever have, and the understanding you're going to have is be different than you have right now, if you even have an understanding. Take a look at this. Welcome. I'm Ira Epstein, and I'm here to talk about my enhanced Bollinger Band course. Now, many of you have taken my regular charting course, and if not, you might think you know something about Bollinger Bands. As you know, Bollinger Bands are an algorithm designed to keep the market trading within it 95% of the time, and on a chart, it will offer on the top part resistance, on the bottom support, and the idea is the market will travel within them. We know that sometimes it latches onto that band, goes up or goes down. Well, how do you play with that? Can you pyramid the positions off that type of thinking? Well, I've applied all three of these into 13 different videos that teach you my concept of it. And from that concept, you're able to work with weekly charts and or daily charts. The 13 videos, each about 7 minutes long. The idea here is not to put you in school forever, but to teach. Now, If you haven't tried my complete futures research, I throw that in as well. Whether you've tried this or not, I think it's worth taking a look at. I think you're going to learn something from there. That research, by the way, covers twice daily market updates for you and access to what I call window envelope numbers, which I think are very important when looking at these Bollinger Bands. The next part is a trial to our charting software so you can make your charts look the same way that mine do. It's that simple. Where do you go with it and how do you get all this? It's simple. You go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. If you go to the word education, everything you need is answered there. You can also call my staff. They'll be happy to help you get set up. I'm Ira Epstein on the road to your education.